you'll get different answers to the way.
Okay, yeah. So if you do it, if there's different ways of doing the same question, people are going to get different answers. So there's going to be confusion. Let's look at an example here. You don't need to take this down, but I'm just going to show an example. 3 plus 4 divided by 2. Can anyone explain to me why the answer to this is not 3.5? And don't say it's because you do.
Can I try?
Maxi, go for it.
So if this is the problem, 3 plus 4 divided by 2, or no, yeah?
Yeah.
You have to do the 4 divided by 2 first.
Why?
I don't know, in my old school, we made a panda, like I don't know, I can't literally explain it.
Yeah, there is a specific order you're supposed to do in. What I'm asking, and maybe Skylar or Joe could answer, is why we do it in that order. Skylar.
Well, so we do 4 divided by 2 because of BODMAS.
Yeah, but why does BODMAS exist? Why is it in that order? Why doesn't addition come before multiplication or division?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure myself. Maybe we should change it. Well, there's 2 different answers depending on whether you use BEDMAS or BODMAS, which we'll get to in a second, which would tell us to do this bit first, 4 divided by 2, and then do 3. But we read English from left to right. Why don't we just do it left to right? 3 plus 4 is 7, and divide then by 2. Well, I'll help you out here. You can write 4 divided by 2 a different way. It could also be written like this, like a fraction. Now, 3 plus 4 divided by 2. Well, 4 divided by 2, well, that's a fraction. If you simplify that, it'd be 2. Same as the way if you were ever to try and add 3 plus a half, you would never rewrite it 3 plus 1 divided by 2 and then add 3 plus 1. If you looked at it a different way. So division and multiplication are just numbers that have been split up and written differently. They're a whole number. 4 divided by 2 is a number in itself. It is 4 over 2, a fraction. Same as the way a half is a fraction, 1 divided by 2. There's no way you'd say anything other than 3.5 for 3 plus a half. You wouldn't say 2. 3 plus a half is not 2. But if you did it in the wrong order, it'd be 3 plus 1, which is 4, divided by 2. Okay. So it's not that they just decided to do it in this order, it's that this is the only order that makes sense, because things like this are already numbers and they cannot be split up and dealt with in 2 different ways. It's like this is in a bracket. You have to do it first because it's in a bracket. It's only applied to both parts of the number, 4 and 2. Okay. That's the reason why you do it. And we can think of many examples that we could do it wrong. So therefore we need to have a system, and I'm sure I've heard some people say the system, BODMAS or BEDMAS or something like that. Let's now start to take some notes. So I'm sure most of you know this, but let's remind ourselves. I use BEDMAS. Well, what does the B stand for? Skylar?
Brackets.
Now, some people use parentheses, the letter P here, but brackets, you would do brackets first. Charles?
Yeah?
You have a question?
No?
Oh. Your hand is raised, but that's okay. E.
Oh, is it? Sorry, I didn't realize.
E. Who knows what E stands for? Now, some people use BODMAS, B-O, and the O in that stands for of. Well, what does E stand for when I say BEDMAS?
Oh wait.
Hmm. I don't even remember. It stands for something called exponents.
Oh yeah.
Now, exponents are, for example, if you're not sure what they are, if you think of a number 2 to the power of 3, that little 3 is an exponent. You do anything with powers. That means 2 times 2 times 2, a repeated multiplication. Exponents. Sometimes the word of is used because it's 2 to the power of 3, and that's where the O comes for of, for BODMAS sometimes. That's exponents, so anything with these little powers. From then on, I think we know D, division, M, multiplication, A, add. This is the order we do problems in. Oh, I spelled multiply wrong. And S, subtraction. Okay. All right, so you've heard of all these before. Now, do have this in your notes, please. So you should have them in your notes. Does anyone know what the word? And I'm just going to put it up here in the scrap area. Don't write this word in your notes. BEMDSA is Bemsta. Bemstas. Skylar, what's that?
It's the exact same thing, just with like different
Order.
order.
So it's the same word. Is this right then? Is this wrong? Have I mixed it up? And it's wrong now? This is wrong order?
No.
Why not?
Because like multiplication and division are on the same.
Yeah. Multiplication and
And
division have the same power, power in this system. If multiply comes before division, you do it first. If subtraction comes before addition on the same line, you do it first. These two are in kind of groups, whichever comes first. But because this word sounds better, pin my thing to your screen. And you should be able to see. This word sounds better. Bedmass sounds better than bemsa.
FEMSA.
Yeah, bemsa. Doesn't sound as good as bedmass. Bedmass is easy. That's the only reason why they've written it like that. But it could be written that way. Or it could also be written bemdaz if you want to just switch. Okay, so these two have this same power, whichever comes first. Of the two. So if you have a question and there's subtraction and addition in it, whichever is first, the way you read it from left to right. Okay, so have that in your notes. I'll give you a second just to finish off and tidy up that note, and then we're going to move on to some example questions, and then you guys are going to do some. All right, so let's start to look at some examples. So I'm going to get rid of this page. Hopefully you all have a note taken on that.
Mr. Collins, right now we're writing this down.
Yeah, you have this in your notes and.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry, I was on the bathroom.
Okay. Okay. All right, I have to move on. So if you didn't get that down, I'll leave it up at the end of the lesson and you can leave it down, or you can take the rest of it down. But let's look at 2 examples, and do put these 2 examples also in your notes. The first example is going to be kind of a green level question, so on the easier side. So take the question down, and then if you can answer it, just type your answer in the chat. Okay, this is our first example question. All right, a couple of people think they have the answer already. Well, let's see if they are right. Now, how would I lay out this work? Well, I'm going to just.
Can I try to solve it?
Now, let me go through this one.
Oh, okay.
You can see if you're right. I see you have our answer there. I'm just going to use this order. My question doesn't have any brackets and doesn't have any exponents. So I'm going to go next with either division or multiplication, whichever comes first. And we have multiplication here and division at the end. So multiplication comes first. So I'm going to do it first. 6 times 5 gives me an answer of 30. I'm just going to leave the rest as it is and then get to the division at the end. 10 divided by 2, that's 5. Okay? So that's all my division and multiplication done. And now I'm just left with adding and subtracting the last 2 lines of this bedmass. So I do whichever comes first here and add and subtract. And so I'll just do it from left to right. This comes first and I get 30 plus 13, which is 43. I need to take 10 from that and take 5 from that. You could probably do it a little bit quicker than this, but 43 take away 10 gives 33, and then I'll take the 5 from it, and then my final answer, 33 take away 5, which is 28. So well done to, I think, Joe and Maxim got that one right. Well done. That's my answer, 28. So put that in your notes if you didn't get it down or didn't get it finished. And then we'll start to look at a second example. Okay, so example 2. Oh, things just got a little bit more difficult. All right, so if you're not sure how to do it, just take it down. If you know how to do it, try and do it in the next 30 seconds or so. Maxim thinks it's 18. Not sure if he's right. Skylar thinks it's 33. Okay. Not sure either. Joe thinks it's 35. Okay, we got loads of brackets here. I'm going to start to do this, so you can follow and take notes. When there's more than one set of brackets, I do the most inner set first, the one closest, the inside one, closest to the inside. And that's this bracket here. So 12 plus 4 is the one I'm going to do first. 12 plus 4 gives me 16. So that's that answer, 16. And then I'm going to divide that answer by 8 in the next set of brackets, this bracket here. Then I'll add 6. And then I'll do something with the 5 squared, because you always do brackets first. Whatever's within the brackets, you must do first. 16 divided by 8 gives me, 16 divided by 8 is 2. So now 2 plus 6 is left in this outside bracket, and plus 5 squared. I still must do what's in the bracket first. 2 plus 8, or 2 plus 6 gives me 8. Now that's the bracket gone, done. I've done everything inside it. Plus 5 squared. 5 to the power of 2. 5 an exponent of 2. Plus comes after exponent, so I must do this exponent. 5 squared, or 5 without 2, means 5 times 5. 5 times 5. That's what the little 2 means.
Oh, I didn't really get that 2 above it. I thought that it's 2 times 5.
Yeah, so this might be a new symbol.
Yeah, I
so
thought it was 10, so 8
5
plus 10 is
squared
18.
means 5 times 5, yeah. So
Oh,
8
okay.
plus 25 then is my answer, 33.
That's why I thought it was 18.
Someone got that. Skylar, you got it. Nice work. Okay, so 33 was the answer to that. Okay. Now, for the classwork today, I haven't put in any of these exponents. I've made it exponent free. So you maybe be glad to see that. And I'm going to show you what's, I'm going to share my screen now, and you're going to see what's the classwork for today looks like. Now, okay, so hopefully you're seeing my screen. It's pop up here, Year 7, Order of Operations, Unit 1 worksheet. They're quite short colors, so I'd really like you to do 2 of them today. So if you found that a bit tricky, maybe do green and yellow. If you think you have the hang of it, try yellow and blue. It's up to you. Maybe start with yellow and then think about what you want to
Mr.
do.
Collins, these are the answers.
What do you mean these are the answers? The answers, what do you mean?
Aren't these the
It
answers?
says true or like
Here in blue?
add brackets to make it true.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so blue is interesting. Blue is kind of, so once you've done yellow and you want to try blue, blue is interesting, yes. Insert one set of brackets and make them true. So at the moment they are fully formed except for they're missing a bracket.
Can I go straight to blue?
Bracket. Okay, so that is the worksheet, and then I'll discuss. That is already on ManageBack, so get it open there. You must try and do 2 colors. You should get a minimum of 1 done, but try and do 2. So if you fancy doing blue, just do yellow first and then do blue. Do write the question and try and write maybe 1 line of working out. You don't have to go as long as my lines of working out here. That's not necessary. Maybe just 1 line that you show you know what you're doing first. Maxim, you have a question?